everybody. This is a Lamley Showcase. I've been getting the question a lot. John, when are you going to show Fast and Furious Motor City Muscle? And the answer has been, well, when I get it. Typically, I'll get this set a little early so I can preview it for you from Mattel, but considering quarantine and they're in their homes and I'm in my home and getting these things to me from the office is near impossible, I was going to have to get this set other ways. Many of you have found it in stores or online or whatever. I finally was able to acquire a set so that I can showcase it for you. So if you've already seen it, great. Hopefully you'll still enjoy the video. If you haven't, we're going to have a look together. Motor City Muscle is the theme. That means all American steel in this particular video. 2 new castings, one that's been getting a ton of buzz, and one that I'm surprised isn't getting all of the buzz. We'll get to that one last. I have not put these in any particular order. It's numerical order, right? But 1, 3, 2, 4, 5. I just put them in an order that I think would be interesting. So let's get right to it. We're going to start. Motor City Muscle is the theme. All of these Fast and Furious premium mixes have themes, just like Car Culture. This is number 5 of 5. They don't follow the same model that Car Culture does where the new casting gets the final number. They just number them, I think, as they want to. This one is the 61 Impala. First time it goes premium. It has been a basic model. It's been in the Fast and Furious, maybe in a 5-pack and maybe in one of the Walmart exclusive lines as a basic style model. Here's the back. We're just going to go ahead and open these up, but you can see the back here if you're looking for it. If you're looking for this, there's that. And let's go ahead and just open them. After we look at Julian's art, you can see he's probably running with some movie themes. I can't remember the characters that have most of these. In fact, I can't remember the characters that have any of these. I don't remember their names. I think I remember what movies they might be from. This one was Fate of the Furious. And maybe there's some background there that's relevant to the scene they're in. You guys are always good about informing me or informing in the comments. I go back and read them, actually. And it's always interesting. It's like, oh yeah, it was that and that and that. But let's just open it up. 61 Impala. Nice to see it in premium. Bright red, 5-spoke reel riders, which always look good. Chevrolet on the front. I think this is a stock. I mean, it's obviously a little bit slammed, right? But and obviously it's raked as well. But it's nice to see this one in full detail. The back of that Impala is so pretty. I think Auto World does this model as well. So this is the more Hot Wheels version, right? Modified version of this Impala. And I think and again, I'm more into these cars as not necessarily as Fast and Furious replicas, but Fast and Furious has been a godsend to us collectors of Hot Wheels because it's allowing us to see so many cool new tools that maybe we wouldn't get if it wasn't for the movies. Those that last casting being an example. All right, 66 Chevy Nova. There's Julian's art. I'm trying to remember. This is number 4 or 5, by the way. What's the movie? Fast 5. So clearly a street race. That might be LA. I don't know. Maybe it's Fast 5. Where was that set? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, 66 Chevy Nova. I think this casting has gone premium in the past. Might have been... Oh, I know I'm blanking. I probably could look at my wall and see it. Maybe it's already been in like garage or something like that. But this one looks nice. Slammed as well. 5-spoke reel riders. Those wheels just look so good on this kind of classic muscle like the Impala. And the Nova right here in gold. I'm trying to see any other details. Again, obviously a slammed body, but just the look, just the straight up paint, and then the premium version, Fast and Furious or not, that is fantastic. I think, with Car Culture hit when JDM was hitting big, and there was the Euro mixes and things. And obviously, there's been questions, should we have more muscle mixes? Well, we've had one in Fast and Furious. We've had a few. We've had like the Gasser mix in Car Culture. But being able to add these premium models, I mean, if you're a long-term collector and you've got like garage and vintage racing, you're going to have a ton of good American cars. But Yeah, this mix is most welcome. This is way welcome, at least for me. It's the 72 Ford Gran Torino Sport. I do remember this was from from Fast and Furious. Remember it racing through the desert, right? There's the desert. Look, didn't it race through like a mining tunnel or something like that too? Trying to remember. Nonetheless, big fan of the 72 Ford Gran Torino Sport. I've mentioned it's one of my top 5 Hot Wheels or top 10 Hot Wheels. This one is very, very nice. Now, this is actually the 4th version of this particular Torino, the Fast and Furious in green. Let's open it up, and then I've got a couple to compare it to. Well, we'll put this on the turntable in just a second. But this is the first time this Torino casting was done. It was in the Walmart exclusive Fast and Furious line. It's come, I think, with J5 wheels, and it was re-released with PR5 wheels, and then re-released with MC5 wheels. That's the only real difference. It has the chrome interior, so does this one. That allows for the chrome grille and the chrome bumper, and you get that brake. That's the Felix Holst style. He talked about that in the Instagram Live that we did. So I don't think these are the same cast. Well, let's see. You can see the base is a little bit, well, they're fairly the same, but there has not been a premium. There's been an RLC version of the Torino, but there has not been, I think, a premium version at all. So this is nice to see. I'm trying to think of this, if the stance looks the same. It looks about the same. So maybe this is closer to the basic than the premium. We did bring out the premium. Notice the striping. Notice how similar these two are. This one has an opening hood. It's a completely different tool. And you can see there's a little bit more detail. Yeah, so the RLC and the basic I think are different enough. And this one has the opening hood. Might be some other differences as well. Hard to tell. But let's take a look at the premium one. It does look nice, and it's nice to have this casting. Hint, hint, Jimmy. We could see this maybe in some other car culture mixes. Maybe even a nice stock look or racing look or something, kind of a Trans Am look or something. I dig this casting. A ton. It is one of my favorite muscle car castings that Hot Wheels has done. I think Brendan Vitesky designed it. And getting this one in full detail, even in the Fast and Furious look, which is pretty clean, I am all for it. Let's put that over here. All right, let's get to the new castings. This is the Ford F-150 SVT Lightning from the Fast and the Furious. It's a shop truck, right? The Racer's Edge. Looks pretty darn good. We'll open it up in a second. We'll open it up right now. This is that's obviously LA in the background, right? This is the model that seems to be the most popular, the one that collectors have been picking up. Obviously, it's a very, very fresh new casting, not based on anything. I don't think Hot Wheels has ever done the Ford Lightning. Matchbox has, right? I think a later version of this particular version of the SVT Lightning. It's cool. It's lowered. I mean, it's a cool replica of a truck that I could care less about. But that's what's the fun about collecting these lines is I'll put this in the full collection because I have all of the Fast and Furious Premium. I have all of the car culture, and it goes in there. I am going to add it to the collection, and it's nice for the diversity. Other than that, I really could care less. But it's nice and clean. It looks cool. I mean, it's a great replica in red, but I'm giving you my honest opinion. You will probably disagree with me. A lot of you will and say, no, it's super cool. I'm happy it's done. I'm really happy they did it, even because they don't have to do cars that I like, right? That would be kind of boring. But why are people not talking about this one? 87 Buick Grand National GNX. Here's why I think they might not be. Some of you might not know that this is a brand new tool. There is the artwork. It is from Fast and Furious. 87 Buick Grand National. I think if I was looking at the base, it even says 87 Buick Regal GNX. So you got the Regal name in the base. It's not on the card. But well, let's open it up first. That's quite the explosion there in the background there. This is such a cool car. And Hot Wheels did a Grand National. I think they released it about 10 years ago. Somewhere back then it had the removable hood. We'll get to this in a second. But here it is. I actually pulled out, there's a bunch of basic versions. There's even an RLC version. This is the Boulevard version. I tried to get as close to this release as I could. So it's okay. It has this opening hood thing that I'm not sure why they did it, but they did it in basic. So it's this removable hood that they would never do now in basic. So they've actually retooled it to have a, so now the hood is sealed on top of it. But it's boxy. It's it just doesn't totally have that sleek, mean, Radwood 80s look that the Buick Grand National has. It just didn't totally come out right, this casting, and sometimes that happens. So when I saw that they were doing a new one, I was like, well, that's cool. I mean, they were doing one for Fast and Furious, but I figured it'd be the same casting. But no, it isn't. Not even close. That is your mean Grand National. That is how it is supposed to look. And this is such a cool model. I am so excited for this one. So excited that I brought out the black car family. Hot Wheels doesn't do a ton of like just plain black models. I selected a handful of them. There are obviously more, but you don't see it a ton. I think from Fast and Furious, we already have two. Right, we have the Land Rover Defender from the off-road mix, which is just in this matte black look with the black rims. Same rims as the Grand National, by the way. And then, of course, I had to bring out the R32, which I just thought was a fantastic release in jet black with the dark gray 6-spoke rims. I even brought out, I think those are two of like maybe the godfathers of the all-black car family. And I did just plain black. I mean, if RWB, because of the gold writing on the side, they don't count. This has to be straight black. Of course, maybe the best one is the 190E from Modern Classics. Any chance I get to pull that one out, I will. And then I have some others that we don't have to go through, anywhere from like the 180SX, the Back to the Future Toyota truck, Nissan GTR from Speed Machines, Hakoska Skyline from Fast and Furious, and I brought out the 288 GTO Ferrari from Garage. But I think these two, the Defender, I just felt like, why not welcome in this very worthy addition to the all-black car family. Now let's take a look at this thing. And you can see, if you just didn't have the older version to compare it to, this would just be one heck of a replica. Like, erase the last 10 years of the ugly Grand National casting. And this thing being released in this set, I think, would be a monster buzzworthy model. I'm surprised that it's not talked about more, especially compared to the Lightning. The Lightning is cool. The Grand National blows it out of the water. The Grand National is one of the cooler cars from the 80s. I think it speaks 80s more than a lot of other cars. And this one in jet black, I think, is already a classic. And I think one of the best premium releases of the year. Easy one of the best. So, anyway, how's that for Lamley hype? I can't tell you how excited I am. And now that I have it open, I'm gonna get this thing photographed. It looks so good with those new rims. Big into that Buick Grand National. There you go. That is Motor City Muscle. It is a great mix between the Torino, the Nova, the Impala, and the Lightning. I'm going to get grief for giving that grief. It doesn't deserve grief. It's a really cool casting, a really nice addition to the family, but that Grand National is the star. You guys tell me what you think. Please disagree with me and let me have it in the comments. This is a fun video to do. Thanks, everybody. Bye.